Hello everyone and a very warm welcome to this video lecture series in which we are discussing about how we can improve and optimize our neural networks. As we know that machine learning is a highly iterative process, and with the coming of the deep learning era, we have algorithms which have a large hunger for data. So generally we have data sets which are feeding algorithms with millions and billions of training examples. And also, we know that in order to perform or iterate over through one step of the gradient descent, the algorithm would go on and iterate over to the whole training data set, and then it would make a prediction and plot it on the chart of gradient descent. In other ways, we can say that for taking a single step of gradient descent, our algorithm would have to iterate over to whole data set. And this is a rigorous problem for us. Why this is a rigorous problem? This is because even for taking a single step, the algorithm would have to iterate over to the whole data set. That is, it would have to iterate over to all millions and billions of training data. So, we have now come up with an algorithm that is much more efficient than the batch gradient descent. And the name of this algorithm is mini batch gradient descent. So in this video lecture, what we are going to do is we are going to study about what is mini batch gradient descent. And then in the next video lecture, we are going to see that how actually mini batch gradient descent method is working efficiently than the batch gradient descent method. So let us continue to work on this video lecture. So we have batch gradient descent that we have studied earlier. And in this lecture, we are going to study about mini batch gradient descent. Also, in the previous video lectures, we have heard about the vectorization. And what we do, we use vectorization instead of using for loops or while loops so that the algorithm could iterate more effectively over through all the training examples. And suppose that in our data set, we are having m training examples. Okay. So our data set is generally training data set is generally split out into two parts. One is the training examples that we have, and corresponding to those training examples, we have the standard output that is represented as capital Y. Okay, so let us take first capital X, and this capital X would constitute all the training example. So I represent these example as x1, x2, x3, x4. Okay, and that would go on till xm. Why? Because we have a total of m training examples with us. Okay, and what are the dimensions of this training dataset? It is nx cross m. Why? Because we have nx number of features in our dataset and m number of training example as a whole. And corresponding to this input vector x, we have our standard output as capital Y. And similarly, for corresponding to this x1, we have y1. For corresponding to x2, we have y2. For us corresponding to x3, we have y3. For us corresponding to x4, we have y4. And now that would go on till ym. Okay. And similarly, if I tell you to write down the dimension of this output vector y, so this would be of the dimension 1 cross m. Okay. Okay. Now what is the problem with us? So suppose that earlier when we used to train some machine learning algorithms, we used to have data set that are in orders of thousands. Okay. And we could easily iterate our machine learning algorithms over through all the thousands of training examples. But now with the coming of deep learning era, suppose that we have the data set, that is we have the training example, suppose m equals to 5 million. Okay, so 5 million training examples is literally a very large data set with us. Okay. And for gradient descent, even to take a single step in the gradient descent, we would have to iterate over to all the 5 million training examples. Okay. So we have come up to this method that is known as the mini batch gradient descent. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to split this whole batch of training example into chunks. Okay. Into small chunks. And these small chunks are also referred to as the mini batches. Okay. So what is a mini batch? A mini batch is a sub data set of the whole data set. Okay. And what we are going to do with this mini batches, we are going to feed these mini batches over to our gradient descent algorithm. And this gradient descent algorithm would now be able to make a single step with this mini batches also. Okay. So further we will discuss about this also. But as of now, suppose from x1 to x1000. Okay. Suppose we have this first split. So therefore from x1001 that goes up to x2000, we have our second split in the data set. From x2001, and that goes up to x3000. So this is our third split, and that would go until xm, that is the last training example. So if I tell you that we have a 5 million training example, okay, and each mini batch is of size 1000 training example, so how many mini batches can be made with this whole data set? Okay, so if I divide 5 million by 1000, it's 5000 left. So we can make 5000 mini batches with with this whole data set. Okay, so overall 5000 training mini batches will be formed. Also, a thing to be noted is that corresponding to these 5000 training mini batches, we would also need to make this corresponding output mini batches also. So from y1, that would go up till y1000 would be the first mini batch. From y1001 to y2000 would be my second mini batch. Y2001 to y3000 would be my third mini batch, and that would go on till y of m. Okay, that is the last output of our training example dataset. Okay, and similarly, here also 5000 mini batches would be formed corresponding to our input feature vector x. Okay. Now, if I tell you that you need to write down the dimension of each mini batch, okay, so how you will do? Okay, so each and every mini batch will have nx number of features, okay, but the number of training examples would now be 1000 instead of whole m. Okay, so the size of this mini batch would be nx comma 1000. Okay, here also nx comma 1000. Here also nx comma 1000. Okay, and that will go on. Also, if I tell you that you need to write the dimension of this output feature vector y, so how you will define the dimension of this mini batches? So this will have only 1 cross 1000, 1 comma 1000 here also, and this would be of the dimension 1 comma 1000, and so on. Okay. Now, there's one more thing to be noted here, and this has to be seriously kept in mind, is that we are introducing all new notations here for formation of these mini batches. Okay, so earlier from the rounded brackets, it was clear that this is the first training example x1. But suppose that I write capital X in curly braces 1. Okay, so this is my first training mini batch. Okay, this whole. For representing this second mini batch, I write x superscript curly braces 2. Similarly, for representing this third mini batch, what I have to write? Capital X inside curly braces. This is the third mini batch, and so on. Okay. Also, for writing this output mini batch, I'll write capital Y curly braces 1. For writing this mini batch, capital Y curly braces 2. For third mini batch, capital Y curly braces 3. And that would go on till the last mini batch. Okay. So overall, to standardize, for a mini batch T, we have the notations as X curly brace T, comma corresponding output as Y curly brace T. Okay. And you have to keep this in mind. Also, when we write X I, so what this represents? This represents the first training example of my data set. And if I write suppose Z of L, so what this represent? This would represent the value of Z for the lth layer of my neural network. And if I write X curly brace T, comma Y curly brace T, so what it would represent? This would represent a mini batch, okay, xt, comma y curly brace t only. Okay, so these notations have to be kept in mind. Okay, now what we are going to see is that how we can be able to form this mini batch. Okay, so while programming, I have to give you a few hints that how we can actually implement this mini batch gradient descent. Okay, now what we need to do, instead of iterating over to all the 5 million training examples, we only need to iterate over 5,000 mini batches. Okay, so our algorithm is now quite faster than when it was before, when we were using the batch gradient descent. Okay, so for t equals to 1 comma, that would go up to till 5,000, because we have 5,000 mini batches with us. Okay, and then what we are going to do is that we are going to implement the forward propagation. Okay, on this first mini batch. Okay, we are going to propagate forward on the first mini batch, and then we are going to find out the z values corresponding to the first layer. Okay, so z1, oh, z square bracket 1 is equal to w1 x plus b1. Okay, now since this is for the first mini batch, so I'll write it here as curly brace t also. Okay, and now we'll find the value of our activation function. A1 is equal to g of 1 in bracket z of 1. Okay, because this z of 1 would be applied inside the activation function. And similarly, we are going to find the values of all the z1, z and a's. And in the last, we would have the activation function for the last layer of our neural network, and that will be equal to g of l in bracket z of l. Okay, so notations have to be kept in mind. And what we are going to do is we are going to have vectorized implementation over all these steps. We are going to have vectorial implementation. Okay, so we are going to have vectorial implementation over all this in order to find the value of z's and a's. And now what we are going to do is, after forward propagation, we are going to compute the cost. Okay, and how we generally compute the cost is we use our cost function j. So instead of using the cost function j over to whole batch, okay, we are going to use this cost function over to our mini batch. So instead of using all the M training example, we are now going to use only 1000 training examples on this cost function. Okay, so it would become j of curly brace t equals to 1 upon number of training examples. So now we have 1000 training examples with us, and summation would go from I equal to 1 to L. Okay, and here we define our loss function as capital L of y hat of I comma y of I. Okay, plus we are going to regularize also this cost function, so lambda upon 2 into 1000. Okay, summation of L, we have this Frobenius norm of W of L. Okay, now what we have done is we have now computed the cost for this forward propagation step, and now what we are going to do is we will perform the backward propagation. Okay, in order to compute gradients with respect to j of t. Okay, and what we'll be doing is we would now be using x curly brace t comma y curly brace t in order to find the gradients using back propagation algorithm. Okay, and we for back propagation we have w of l equals to w of l minus alpha d w of l. Okay, and for updation of b, we have b of l is equals to b of l minus alpha db of l. And also what we are going to do is we are going to perform this whole algorithm for 5000 times. Okay, so our gradient descent algorithm would take small step while it would iterate over to each mini batches. Okay, and this whole algorithm starting from beginning to end is generally referred to as one epoch. Okay, and what this one epoch means, we are going to pass through the training set one time. Okay, so if I write we have this one epoch, so one epoch generally means that we are going to pass through the training set using this whole algorithm for one time. Okay, so similarly we are having 5000 epochs here. Why? Because we are iterating over through this algorithm 5000 times. Okay, so this much for today in this video lecture. I hope this video lecture would have been very much informative to you. In the next video lecture, what we are going to see is that we are going to see that how this mini batch gradient descent method actually works on a data set, and why there is an added advantage of using the mini batch gradient descent over to the traditional batch gradient descent algorithm. If you really like this video lecture, then you can hit the like button. You can comment on this video lecture if you have any doubts regarding this lecture. You can share my video lectures and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much.